The $5,000 microwave handle. It snapped off in his hand. That's it. That's how it started. My buddy reaches up to pull open the microwave, heating up leftovers Tuesday night, nothing special, and the little plastic handle just lets go. Comes off clean in his palm, cracked right at the hinge where 1,000 pulls finally won. He's standing there in his kitchen holding a piece of plastic that costs about $2 to make. $2. Now I want you to hold on to that number, because by the time this story is over, that $2 piece of plastic is going to cost my friend $5,000. And he's going to do it to himself. One reasonable decision at a time, with a smile on his face and the best intentions in the world. I'm Ben Matthews, your host and friendly neighborhood bankruptcy attorney, and this is Debt Sucks. Today we're talking about how a broken microwave handle wrecked a budget, and what it can teach you about the way debt actually sneaks into your life. Let's get into it. So here's my friend. Good guy, works hard, pays his bills, not reckless, not a big spender, not the kind of person you'd ever point at and say, there goes a guy with a money problem. He's got a microwave that's, 8 years old, maybe 10? Works fine, heats food. The only thing wrong with it now is that handle, which is sitting in pieces on the counter. And here's the thing, the microwave still works. You can open it. You just sort of got to pry it with your fingernail at the edge of the door. Annoying? Sure. Broken in any way that matters? Not really. But here's where it starts. His wife walks in, sees the handle on the counter, and she says the 4 words that have launched 1,000 home renovations. Maybe it's just time. Time. Time for a new one. And honestly, she's not wrong to think it. The thing is old. The handle broke. It feels like a sign. So they decide, together, reasonable people making a reasonable call, they'll just replace the microwave. No big deal. A couple $100, get a nice one this time. And that, right there, is the first domino. The cascade. Now follow me here, because this is the part everybody's lived through, whether they admit it or not. The new microwave shows up. Stainless steel, digital display, one of those that looks like it belongs on a spaceship. They get it installed, they step back to admire it, and the stove looks terrible. It didn't look terrible yesterday. Yesterday the stove was just a stove, but now there's this gleaming new microwave sitting next to it, and suddenly the stove looks tired, looks dated, looks like it's been there since the Obama administration, which, to be fair, it probably has. So now there's a conversation about the stove. And look, if you're going to replace a stove, you can't have a brand new stove next to that old refrigerator. The fridge that has that yellowed plastic on the handle, now it's a whole row of mismatched appliances and one shiny new microwave, making them all look like they're embarrassed to be there. You see where this is going. He saw where it was going too. He just couldn't stop the train. New microwave, new stove, new fridge. And while the installers are in there pulling things out, the wife notices that the countertop's got a chip in it that you can really only see now that everything around it is new. Oh, and the backsplash, right? And honestly, the cabinet hardware doesn't match anymore. He told me, and I'm not exaggerating, by the end of it, he was standing in the middle of an appliance showroom on a Saturday afternoon holding a credit card, wondering how in the hell he got there. $5,000 from a $2 handle. Now here's the part I really want you to hear, because if you can name a thing, you can fight it. What happened to my friend has a name. Psychologists call it the Diderot Effect. It comes from this French writer, Denis Diderot, back in the 1700s. Broke most of his life. Then one day somebody gives him a beautiful new scarlet work robe. Gorgeous thing. And he puts it on. And he looks around his study, and suddenly everything else looks like junk next to this beautiful robe. So he replaces his chair. Then his desk. Then the art on the walls. He goes into debt redecorating his entire study, all because one nice robe made everything else look shabby. I mean, that's it. That's the whole trap. One new thing raises the bar, and everything around it suddenly looks like it doesn't belong. So you upgrade to match. And then the upgrade raises the bar again, and you chase it, and you chase it, and the whole time every single step feels reasonable. My friend didn't have a microwave problem. He had a Diderot problem. The handle wasn't the cost. The handle was the permission slip. And here's why I want you to know the name. Because the next time you feel that pull, that little voice that says, well, now this doesn't match, you can stop and go, oh, I know what that is. That's the robe talking. And naming it breaks the spell just a little, just enough. Now I got to talk about the other thing in the story because it's the part that's real and it's the part that hurts a little. When my friend tells me how this happened, he doesn't say, I lost my mind in an appliance store. He says, and I quote, I just wanted to make her happy. And man, that's the whole thing right there, isn't it? There's nothing obviously wrong about it. Most debt is not reckless. I've been doing this a long time. I sit across the desk from people every week who are buried. And you know what almost none of them are? Stupid or greedy or out of control. What they are is trying to be a good provider, trying to keep the peace, trying to give the kids the thing the other kids have, trying to make a tired spouse smile at the end of a long week. That's not a character flaw. That's love with a credit card attached to it. So I'm not going to stand here and tell my friend he's an idiot for wanting to make his wife happy. He's not. That instinct is a good instinct. The problem isn't the love. The problem is that the love walks straight into a showroom with no plan and no cushion and a credit card in his back pocket. And here's the hard truth, said with all the compassion I've got. The kindest thing you can do for your marriage is usually a conversation before the showroom, not a payment plan after. Because that $5,000 doesn't go away when the appliances get delivered. It just moves. It moves onto a card. It starts collecting interest, and it quietly becomes part of what I call the rock pile. That stack of debt you didn't really decide to take on, that just kind of accumulated, one reasonable rock at a time, until you're standing under a pile you can't see over. So let's rewind. Let's run the tape back and fix it. What's the one thing that turns this whole disaster into a non-event? It's not willpower. It's not a lecture about needs versus wants. It's not some spreadsheet with 40 categories that you're going to abandon in 3 weeks. It's a cushion. Specifically, it's what I call the shit happens fund. Because here's the deal. Shit happens. That's not pessimism. That's just Tuesday. Handles break. Tires blow. Kids need braces. The HVAC picks the hottest week in August to die. It's not a question of if. It's only ever a question of when and how much. And when you've got a few $100 set aside, money that exists for this exactly, money that's already been decided on, then a broken handle stays a broken handle. You order the $8 replacement part off the internet, you watch a 2-minute video, you snap it back on, and you go back to your leftovers. Crisis averted, showroom avoided, marriage intact, card untouched. The Shit Happens Fund isn't about being rich. My friend's not poor. He just didn't have anything between him and the moment. No buffer, no pause button. So the first little gust of maybe it's just time knocked him clean into a $5,000 hole. That fund is the pause button. It's the thing that lets you handle the small stuff like it's small before it ever gets a chance to become big.
Hey, let's get real for a sec. The Debt Sucks plan, it's awesome. It works. But not everyone has the time or the patience to chip away at their financial Mount Everest. Maybe you're drowning right now, like creditors calling your grandma, paycheck gone before it lands, sleepless nights count as drowning. Sound familiar? Listen, you don't have to white-knuckle your way through this alone. Instead of spending years battling debt $1 at a time, I've got you. Bankruptcy isn't a failure, it's a fresh start. And sometimes hitting reset is the smartest thing you can do. At my law firm here in South Carolina, we take the time to listen to your story and help you figure out if bankruptcy is the right choice for you. No pressure, no judgment, just straight answers and real solutions. And if you don't live in South Carolina, don't worry. I can connect you with a trusted attorney in your state. Wherever you are, help is closer than you think. So if you're ready to stop the stress and start fresh, Visit debtsucks.info to share a little about your situation or call my office for a free consultation. Let's find your path forward together, because sometimes you don't need a plan, you need a damn lifeline. Let me be that lifeline.
All right, let me tie a bow on this thing. 1, debt sneaks. It doesn't announce itself. Nobody decides to spend $5,000. They decide to fix a microwave, and the rest happens to them one reasonable step at a time. The danger is never the first purchase, it's the cascade. 2, the Diderot Effect is real, and now you know its name. One new thing makes everything else look shabby. When you feel that pull, now this doesn't match, stop and call it what it is. That's the robe talking. Naming it breaks the spell. 3, most debt is love with no plan. Wanting to make somebody happy is a good instinct, but good intentions and a credit card in a showroom is how the rock pile gets built. Have the conversation before, not the payment plan after. And 4, the big one, the Shit Happens Fund is your pause button. A small cushion turns disasters back into inconveniences. It's the difference between an $8 part and a $5,000 hole. Now look, I'm not going to tell you to build a Shit Happens Fund and then leave you hanging, going, good luck, figure it out. I put together a worksheet, a real one. It walks you through exactly how much you should be setting aside, where to keep it so you're not tempted to rate it, and how to build it up even if money's tight right now, a little at a time. The same way the rock pile got built, except this time it's working for you instead of against you. It's free. It costs you nothing but the 2 minutes it takes to fill out. Go to debtsucks.info, that's debtsucks.info, and download the Shit Happens Fund worksheet. Print it, fill it in, stick it on the fridge right next to whatever appliance is currently plotting against you. debtsucks.info, go grab it today before the next handle breaks. And before you go, I want to hear yours, because I know you've got one. Everybody does. That small thing that snowballed into something ridiculous. The $15 oil change that turned into a $400 repair. The quick trip to the store. The little crack that became the whole foundation. Tell me your microwave handle story. Hit me up, leave a comment, send it in. You know where to find me. We might just feature it on the show, because the more we laugh about this stuff together, the less power it has over any one of us. That's the show. Take care of your money, take care of each other, and remember, debt sucks, but you don't have to live there. I'm Ben Matthews. See you next time.